Hey guys, so it's our team call, and I'm just gonna hop right into what we're doing today. We're not gonna talk about Success Club or anything like that because I feel like this topic that we're gonna be talking about today is social media marketing, branding, and advertising. It's something that I've been really researching myself a lot lately. I've invested in a couple of trainings and I've learned a lot. I've talked to a few other people who are doing this themselves. We've kind of been doing it together, and we've had success with it. So I'm going to share with you guys today a little bit about what I've learned. I've made a couple of other videos that you guys can use, which will help you follow along on some of the topics that we're talking about, like how to create images that look great for your brand, things like that. So I'm not going to explain all of that, but I really want to talk about this because I feel like a lot of people are coming to me with questions about how you can recruit and how you can start to break out of your warm market. Now, we have to keep in mind that when you're doing this, you have to decide first and foremost, are you going to do this business as more of a hobby, or are you going to treat it as your business? Because doing some of these things means investing in your business. And I know that that word scares a lot of people because we don't want to do it, right? So, but if you think about it, if you were starting a brand new business and you were franchising something yourself, or let's say you're just starting your own business, period, you're going to have a marketing budget. So that's step number one when it comes to branding, marketing, and advertising. You have to figure out what is going to be your budget to market yourself. You have a budget for what you're willing to spend on programs and your Shakeology and things like that. So what I've started doing, or what I decided I was going to start doing, is taking 10% of what your weekly check is and putting that into your business. So when I first started doing this, when I first started my Facebook page back in 2013, I was literally spending maybe $10 every other week. And that was it, because that's really all I could afford to spend, was about $20 to $30 per month on my marketing. Now, as time has grown, if you want to have full disclosure here, and we're a team, so I don't spend 10% of my weekly budget or my weekly income, because personally, you guys know that would be completely insane. So I spend about 10% of my weekly income for the week, for the entire month. So, but I break that up throughout the entire month. So each week is how I do advertisements for getting people to like my page and for getting people to apply to certain things. And we're going to touch on all those topics. So what I want you to do now is I want you to put down on a piece of paper, what is 10% of your average monthly income? Because that is what you're going to be using to help yourself when it comes to advertising and marketing. Now, if you don't have a Facebook page, that's okay. But a lot of this is going to apply to if you have a page, because I do feel like it is really important for you to have a page. Even if you're trying to build one and you don't have one right now, you can certainly go throw a bunch of stuff up on a Facebook page and you can use it. And what you can do is you can get people from Instagram, Pinterest, any of those places to pull over from those social media markets and get onto your page. What I found in my research is that a lot of people are looking to see if you're legit. And the way they do that is they check to see if you have a Facebook page. Even if you're on Instagram, most social media accounts are going to have either a web page or a Facebook page to solidify that they are a legitimate business. So if you don't have a web page or you don't have a like page, you might want to think about getting those. I think web pages are way too difficult to manage, but I'm not saying you shouldn't have one. I have one, but you know, it's a nice resource. But most of my communications come through between my Instagram account. If I find somebody over there, I say, hey girl, do you have a Facebook account? Let's connect on there. My profile is public, so people can message me on my Facebook page or my like page, or my personal profile page or my Facebook like page, they can do either one. They can message me through either place. I don't have people add me as a friend. I just tell them that they can follow me there, because I don't want people to add me as a friend until I know who they are and I'm communicating with them, so that I don't get weirdos. But so that's just me personally. You can do that however you want. But let's start off with the branding topic, because I feel like one of the biggest things that people talk about, aside from you know, how to get more people attracted to you, is what do I post about? I don't know what to post about, or I don't know. So let's break this down into 4 simple steps. What you want to be posting about is you want to be figuring out, are you going to be an educator? Are you going to be a motivator? Are you going to be somebody who is more of a behind the scenes person? Or are you going to be somebody who's more involved in the community? Now, for me, I'm all of those things, and that's okay. You can post all of those things. You just have to figure out a posting schedule of when to post these specific things. So for me, I did a poll on my page, and I found out what it is that people wanted to see from me. What people like to see is they come to me because I give them recipes, because I give them workout ideas, because they do love to see that I'm a normal person, that I'm real, I'm raw, I go through the same trials and tribulations that they do on a daily basis. They like seeing pictures of my family, but not quite as much. It's not the only thing they want to see, but they do like to see that. And you know, they don't necessarily like all my advertising posts, which is the community or the events part of it, but that's going up there because that's my business. But how I attract people to me is the first 3. So education, behind the scenes, and motivation / inspiration. So let's break those topics down real quick. Education is something that, what are you teaching people? What kind of value are you adding to their life? Are you giving them, so for me personally, I'll just use me as an example. I am giving them free workouts. I'm giving them free recipes. I'm sharing tips that are helpful for them with workouts. Or this morning I posted about a Himalayan salt crystal that I found that was on sale. I shared with them where I got it, and I talked about how, you know, what some of the benefits of having one is, or at least why I like to have it. And then I just asked people, I put a little call to action in the bottom by just saying, like, do you like this? Do you use these? Are you familiar with it? Etc. I'm asking people to post something and engage with me underneath of that post. Now, the second part is going to be motivation and inspiration. How are you going to brighten people's day? That's pretty much it. Like, you just want to, when they log on and they see your page, what are you going to do to make them smile or feel good about themselves? That's motivation and inspiration. So you want to put those things out there. Number 3 is going to be behind the scenes, and that is sharing the real and the raw stuff. So maybe it's a picture of your desk. Maybe it's a picture of you and your kids. Maybe it's a picture of you doing something fun. Or for me, videos of me dancing around with my daughter. I've recently found out that those videos, people love those, and I don't pay for those to be boosted, but they get a ton of attraction. So, you know, you want to figure out what it is that your audience likes and share with them a little bit about what it's like to be with you on the other side of that screen. What is it about your life that you're sharing that makes you just like them, that makes you relatable to your particular market audience? Now, that brings me to my, 4th point. First, we'll finish this, is community. So maybe this would apply to you if you are somebody who has a gym, if you're somebody who runs boot camp classes, if you're running a fit club, or if you are doing a challenge group or something like that. Community and events kind of talks about what are you offering them that is local to them or something that they can be a part of. So you're going to be posting about those things. Now, if you were a storefront and you actually had a shop or something like that, then you would be posting about those things more often because you want to get people to your location. Now, for us as Beachbody coaches, we generally don't have that. We don't have a physical storefront or a physical location to bring people to. If you're doing a fit club and you want to give them the address, then you can add a location of where that is. If you're on Instagram, you can add a location into the location spot and share with people where those pictures were being taken and where your event is going to be located. So that's another thing that we can talk about later, but I will share with you real quick that I have purchased an Instagram training that is absolutely fabulous, and you guys have access to that in our Google Drive. I've shared that underneath of trainings and also underneath of references. In the references folder, go to social media folder. There's an Instagram training in there. You have to use my login information to access it. But it's going to take you multiple days to get through because it's several modules of training. But the training is amazing. And if you guys go check out my page or my Instagram, you can 100% tell when I started doing this training and that my page went from being a hodgepodgey mess to a seamless, all my pictures kind of have the same feel. There's not as many words all over anything anymore because I've found that for me and my followers, people don't want to see as many words on it. Like I said in one of our trainings that you can go to, and I'm going to actually add this training to our team page, and our team training page is the one that I did about how to create those images. If you have an amazing image, you don't slap a sticker on a Ferrari, you guys. If you have a picture that says 1,000 words, do not put words over top of it. Just put the picture out there. That just the picture alone is going to get people to be like, oh my gosh, what is this picture about? It's awesome. And they're going to read what you wrote. So if you give it all away in the wording in your picture, then a lot of times people are going to miss out on what it is that you have to say. So that's something that I've found to be super helpful, is learning how to create your brand through your images. So that is what I was going to say before we finish talking about the community part, is bringing yourself back to what is your brand? Why are people going to follow you? What does your brand look like? If you have a storefront and you have a magazine, what is your magazine going to look like? Is it going to be a hodgepodgey mess of a bunch of different pictures and different color schemes and all of that stuff? Or are you going to have it be seamless? It's okay, whichever way you choose to do it. But what I find is that it's easier on the eye, and it is easier to follow you if your images look the same. You want somebody to see something and say, oh, that's a Lauren Majewski picture, or oh, that's a Lauren video. I know what that is. Or, you know, they see it and they automatically know that it's me. They don't even have to ask if it's me in the picture, if I'm facing backwards, because they just know because my images look the same. A couple of my favorite apps real quick, and these are in the trainings that I use the most now, are ViscoCam. I use it every single day. ViscoCam, I use Burst Mode, I use Camera Plus, I use Snapseed, and I use WordSwag. And I do use Rona from time to time, but honestly, I use WordSwag more than I do Rona anymore. I use Rona when I need to overlay things and kind of make things match a little bit. But I don't put as many words over top of my pictures anymore, so I'm not really using it quite as much. So you want to create this look for yourself that kind of talks and like gives people a feeling of who you are. That's really important in creating your brand. So what is it that you stand for? For me, like we talked about, people know I'm fitness, food, family, faith, and a little bit of fun. So they come to me for those specific things. What are people going to come to you for? You have to figure those things out, you guys. That's so important, because if you're just throwing stuff up there on a whim and it doesn't kind of coordinate or match with what you're trying to do, then it's really not going to work for you. So I encourage you to sit down with a planner. I don't have mine with me because I'm locked in the guest bedroom, but I have a planner that is specifically for my social media. And I went in all of these trainings and kind of learnings of how to work this for myself and my business. I followed 1 to 2 particular accounts that weren't necessarily Beachbody, one that was a Beachbody coach and a few that were not. And I followed their accounts and I figured out, what are they doing? What is it that they are promoting? How are they creating their images? What does their page look like? When are they advertising for things? And with the specific Beachbody coach, I found somebody that it wouldn't make sense for me to follow somebody like Amy Silverman. I love her. She's an awesome person. She's a great Beachbody coach, but she's nothing like me. I don't have anything in common with her at all, except for the fact that we are Beachbody coaches. So you want to pick somebody that resembles you in your life. Don't waste your time on somebody trying to be like them and following them when they are nothing like you, because they're not, your audience is not going to relate to that. Figure out who you are, and you want to follow somebody that is like you so that you can get followers and coaches that are like you. So for me, I found one person who, she talks like me, she dresses like me, she posts the same things that I did. We were posting fitness videos and recipes, and we were posting about our kids, and we were sharing things. We have the same personalities for the most part, and the same type of drive in our businesses, and she and I are basically mirror images of one another. So I found her page, and for 3 months, I wrote down every single thing that she posted about. Now, not the exact post, and I didn't copy words, but I wrote down, okay, today she posted a motivation image. Then she put, at the end of every day, when I would finish my day, I would go and I would check, and I would say, at this time of day, she posted X, Y, and Z. And I did that. And I found out how many times a day she was posting. I found out what she was posting about. And when she was hosting, like, you know, sneak peek groups, glance into coaching groups, challenge groups, free clean eating groups, coach internship posts, all of that stuff. And I kind of learned the system, learned the cycle. And that's kind of how we started to create our Team Fit For cycle, was I was figuring out what was working for her. Now, that didn't necessarily work for us and for me. So we do the same timeline, just on different days, if that makes sense. Different days and weeks of the month. But I know now, if you're going to be posting about a challenge group, you want to be posting things that are relevant to fitness and why fitness works so great for you. Why is at-home programs great for you? You want to be posting about that, giving them those little like jabs throughout the week before. Super important. You're not going to be posting about like your favorite lipsticks and all of these things, and then, oh yeah, by the way, I am hosting a challenge group, but you never posted anything about you working out, or why you love a program, or a picture of you in your workout clothes. You have to have relevant content before you post these things. So if you're going to be posting about an internship or an application to join your team, then you're going to want to be talking about why you love Beachbody. Now, if you're somebody that's just starting out and you haven't really had a financial success, or you haven't really had any type of success so much that you see so far, use someone else. But it doesn't mean that you have to be somebody who's earning hundreds of extra dollars or thousands of extra dollars, or being a six-figure earner. Honestly, guys, if you were able to go and afford a cup of Starbucks that you usually wouldn't spend before, post about it. Hey, I am so grateful today that my extra 20 bucks that I made in my Beachbody business this week allowed me to spoil myself with some Starbucks, or my extra $50 paid for the gas in my car, or hey, I went out to lunch today, or we went out to dinner, or I was able to buy myself a shirt, or I paid my phone bill, or, you know, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a lot. It's just gratitude for what you're doing. If it has nothing to do with money, it can simply be, I feel so amazing. I feel better than I felt in a long time. I have so much energy. I'm so grateful that I found this, because I finally have something that's working for me. It can be anything, you guys, but you want to make it relevant to whatever it is that you're going to be posting about when you give them that right hook of saying, hey, come join me in this. So that is pretty much what I wanted to talk about with the scheduling part of things and the branding part of things, making sure that you have a specific brand that looks like you, that's targeting people that are like you. You do not have to work with everybody. If you're a single stay-at-home mom, you're not going to be wanting to work with Joe Smo truck driver over there. It just doesn't work out, you guys. So you want to, not saying you have to turn him down if he comes to you, but just be smart about the people that you're targeting. If you're going to be paying to advertise something, you're not going to say, hey, everyone. You're not talking to everyone. Hey, mamas, that's me. I'm talking to other people who are moms that want to have some more income, that want to have a little bit of an easier go at it when it comes to working out, or, you know, hey, fellow, whatever it is that you guys are, put it out there. Be specific about who you are talking to. You're not going to turn people off if you're not saying, hey, everyone. But that also brings me to another point. When you're doing this, you are going to have a full-on change of what your overall image looks like on Facebook, social media, all of these things. You guys, you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with the fact that you're gonna lose some followers. You cannot please everyone. You're gonna have haters. Put your hater goggles on, the little hearts, and just peace out. You don't need them. You cannot make everybody happy. You just can't do it. But you're doing this for you, and for every person that you're making unhappy, you're making 20 to 30 other people inspired. So forget the haters, say goodbye. It's hard, sometimes it's tough, but there's a little button called unfriend. Unfriend them, unfollow them, do whatever. If they're putting some bad negative juju in your life, unfollow them so you don't have to see them. If they're commenting nasty stuff on your comments, unfriend them. It's okay. Ask yourself this question. Is that person being in your life really gonna matter? Are they even gonna notice if you're missing from Facebook or if you're not showing up in their news feed anymore? If they do, they're gonna refriend request you. And if they don't, then screw them. That's just kind of how I look at it, you know? So I have one person in particular, I unfriended her last year because she was really mean to some of you guys as coaches, and she had some really negative things to say, and she posts negative comments on everybody's stuff all the time, said she didn't like seeing Beachbody stuff in her newsfeed. Well, I was like, bye-bye. I'm not even really friends with you. I just know you from high school. I added you because I was adding to my social circles. So see you later, chica. Goodbye. And just now, this week, almost a year later, she's refriend requesting me. I'm not adding her back because I don't need that negativity in my life. You don't have to have that, you guys. You just don't. So pick and choose, figure out who your market is, and go with that. I'm going really fast because I have so much to cover today, but what I really wanted to dive into is working with first of all, it took me about a month and a half of really starting to build a brand on my page, on my like page, before I ever boosted or promoted anything, because I wanted people to follow me for me and liking what I had to offer. So I put out a ton of free stuff, lots of free workouts, free recipes, free meal plans, tons of things like that. So I built up my following a little bit. And what I did while I was doing that, I never posted anything about a challenge group. I never posted anything about an application to join my team for about 2 months while I was doing this. I only did advertisements to get more people who were targeted to like my page. And I'm going to explain how to do that now. And if I can, I might even try and screen share and show you how to do it. But so I was putting out a ton of those freemiums is what I called. So if you look on our FitForce page where you have the weeklies, it'll show you kind of what some of the freemiums are. Now, I have that FitForce banner put up there as what was working before, but if you go back and you reflect that on my page, mine's different because I'm constantly tweaking and playing with things to see what works, but what's on that banner is what works. So if you're like, oh, but it says to post that, but she didn't, do it anyway, because I'm playing with things. I'm constantly trying to see and make adjustments for you guys. So, but anyway, so with doing marketing advertisements, if you are going to be trying to get people to follow your page, I did a Mari Smith training that taught me kind of how to do advertisements for my page. And I will be 100% honest, you guys, that wasn't really working for me because I found that I was getting a ton of people to like my page. Like, let's say right now I think I have 20,000 followers or something on my page, and I was getting maybe 1,000 a month, close to about 1,000 a month. They were empty. Only about 300 or 400 people were actually seeing what I was posting, if that. Like, it even went down when Facebook was being screwy to like 74 to 124 people. That means out of 20,000 some followers, only really 128 people were really coming to see what my page was all about, and it was probably you guys. So, you know, you want to just really think about what is working for you. So I started tracking my insights. I started tracking my my posts, finding out what was working, and I kind of booted Shalene's advice about not boosting posts out the window, because I know she told us not to do that, and I understood why she said not to do it before, but I'm finding that honestly, by boosting my posts, I'm getting way more legit real followers that are engaging on my stuff than I ever was just doing the advertisements. It was kind of like I was throwing money out the window doing the advertisements. But the boosts I found after 3 months have been super, super helpful. I started this research with about 16,000 followers on my page. And I think I'm just about ready to cusp over that 21,000 or 21 or 20, I don't know, something like that. It's 20,000 something on my page. And they are all legit people that are actually engaging, sharing my posts, not necessarily commenting a lot. And, you know, but when I post things, especially my application posts, when you see my application posts, there's maybe, you know, a few comments on it, but behind the scenes, you guys, I think I shared it with a couple of you, my inbox was nothing but applications. And in one day, in 1 week, there was over 65 applications. That people don't see that because it's behind the scenes. A lot of people don't want to put a comment or a like out there to let, you know, the whole world see that they're maybe struggling. So don't get discouraged if you don't see comments, or if you're following somebody trying to figure out what they're doing. Don't look at it and be like, oh, well, that didn't work for her, because you really don't know if it worked for her or not, because you can't see her inbox and you can't see her messages. So just kind of figure out what works for you. But if you like the idea and you like the concept, go for it. And if it's crickets and it doesn't work, then scratch it, delete it from your page, and go back to the drawing board and do it again. But here is basically what I found is I created forms, and you can create free forms on Google. You can use Google Drive. You can use Jotform. I think when I first started, I used Jotforms. I think there's like Wufoo Forms or something like that. I personally use Google because it stores it in an Excel sheet for me. And I did a Google add-on, which allows me to get notified every single time to my email that someone applies to one of my forms. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this. So here we go. Here's my page, and you can see 143 people liked it this week. And that is really just since Monday. That's since yesterday, because they send out the reports every Sunday. So, but let's go down, and you can see over here, like my posts this week reached 32,000 people. This many people engaged on it. One person clicked the Shop Now button. It gives you response rates. It tells you everything. So people are actually looking and they're engaging, and you can use this, and you can see it tells you what people liked. And I love this because I see that people actually liked this. So I could have the option to boost it if I wanted to. Importance of knowing the insights on your page, that's another thing. If you're not sure, like, hey, well, what do people really want to see? You can come in here and click on your posts, and you can see what time people are looking at your things. So you see, for me, my peak times are between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. at night, which is when I do most of my big posts. Then you can come down and you can look, like, so here you go. This was my dark horse video that I did, a workout video. 6,000 people engaged on that and saw it. This one, a leg day workout. This was another dark horse video. It was like, for, you know, you can see those are the things that people are legitimately looking at and checking out. So I would want to boost those things. This one was the video of me dancing with my daughter, 2,000 people. I didn't pay for it, but, you know, 264 people liked it. 9 people left comments. You know, it's just, you can kind of pick and choose and see what people are engaging on. How many people clicked on your posts, how many people liked it, how many people saw it, that kind of thing. But let's go to this and let's go down. So what I like to do is, here is an example of one of my advertisements. Now, Facebook is really funny. You cannot boost posts of pictures of yourself like half naked. This is a workout video, so they allow me to be in my sports bra, but you can't post pictures of yourself in sports bras and that kind of stuff. If you have a nice body, because they think it's unrealistic, even if it is legit your body. It's weird. but you have to watch for words. You can't use words like mom. You can't use words like finance, money. You can't use really anything that makes it seem like you're trying to promote a multi-level marketing or you're trying to promote somebody selling something. So for me, I used a video. I'm giving people something free. I did this post to kind of hit two things. I did this post to try and get people to like my page and follow my page and to get people to fill out an application to join my challenge group. So here I just give them a quick little hey, good morning, abs. Want to whip your abs into shape? You can do this in 6 to 8 minutes. I'm giving them something free, something that's working for them. Then I ask them to follow me. I ask them to tag their friend. I share a little bit, of being funny. I give them the actual workout, a quick tip of what they can do, because some people might see it and be like, oh, well, I don't have hand weights. Well, I tell them how they can do it without it. And at the bottom, I use a form that says, click below to join my accountability group. Now you can look and see it was shared 148 times. Over 171 people liked it. Now I paid for this one. I boosted it for about $40. And this is how many people saw it paid. This is how many people saw it organically. And here are their comments. So now there's nothing in here that shows that anybody actually clicked on my post or clicked on the form, but yet I have applications sitting in my inbox. So you don't see them, but people have actually applied to join the challenge group or want more information. And that's where I would get them talking and using a script to follow about how to get started. Now with this video right here, I created a shop now button, start your journey now. The way that you can do this, if you guys don't know, it's an awesome way to put out like a little freebie advertisement. Facebook doesn't charge you to do it. You can go down and you can pick a, I'll use this one just because it's not there. When you come to the video, you go to options, go to edit this video. And while you're there, it gives you the option to name the video or who's in it. You can name it. You can choose a thumbnail. It'll usually give you options of the video. And then you can choose right here, call to action button. You would click shop now, or if you want somebody to sign up for something, or if you want someone like sign up, you could add your application link there, but I do shop now. And I have them go, I click shop now, and then once you do, it'll drop this down. You can put a link to your challenge group or to your, I always put challenge packs in here, and that will bring them automatically to your Team Beachbody website or whatever URL you put doin there when they're done watching the video if they click on it. Now I'm gonna cancel that out because I don't want to do that. Sorry. And we're gonna go back. But that's an easy way for you guys to get some free marketing on your videos. If you're doing videos, put those in there, always put them in there. Like this was a video that I did. It was a YouTube video that I did of some workout that a guy put out there. But I said in my post, I just did, I think 21 Day Fix Extreme Lower. This day I did Pilates, this one down here I did lower. And then I did a burnout workout afterwards. But because I mentioned doing 21 Day Fix Extreme Lower, I put the 21 Day Fix link in this video so that they could shop for it. You can also add a shop now button up here where people can come to your page and they can click shop now. Or if you have a newsletter or you have a challenge group application, you can put a join now button, sign up now, anything like that. You can do that in your settings and more about your page. With actual posts, let's go to my post about the application. So here is the application that I did. This was for, be a part of Team FitForce. Now, here is the application. I said what I was looking for, what I wanted. But I never said anything specific to target moms or anything like that, because if you're doing that, most likely Facebook is going to catch up on it and they're going to kick you out and they're going to say no. So this is a picture of me with my kids. I'm not saying, hey, lose weight, or I can guarantee you anything, but I just put a simple little text across the bottom. You can only have 25% text. You can check your post before you try to promote it. There's a little button that says you can click on it and it'll ask you how to change it. But I put a link to my Google form and I simply boosted this post. And I don't see in here the option to do so. I guess I have to actually go to my timeline and find it, but I'll use a different example. But what I did is I spent the most money on that ad. I spent probably $150 to boost that because that was for me, the one thing that I need to do the most of is recruiting. So for me, it's more important to spend most of my monthly budget on recruiting than it is to worry about getting people to join a challenge group or anything like that, because I'm going to use people to fill a challenge group who are becoming coaches and buying challenge packs at the same time. So now I'm going to use this post as an example. If I wanted to boost this post, you guys, all I have to do is come down here and click boost. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. And then here's what it looks like. You can see what it would look like on your desktop, and then you can click here and see what it would look like on your news feed. You want to make sure that it looks the way you want it to, that the text is popping up the right way. But then you come over here, and I always do people I choose through targeting. So you guys can see my audience here. I actually type in women that are 25 to 40 because that's my target audience. Those are the people I want to be working with. I want to work with people in the United States and Canada. I only want to work with women. I'm not saying I don't want to work with men, but if I'm going to choose to target people, that's who I'm going to target. I'm targeting Amazon.com, Amazon Mom, Etsy, Athleta, Lululemon, Target Baby, Stay at Home Mom, Huggies Pull-Ups, Stay at Home Mama, Honest Company, and Fabletics. I'm choosing those things because those are things that I am personally using. They are products that I like. So those are people that I have something in common with. I want people that like those things. So this ad is only going to be shown to the people that like those things or fit into those categories. And then I come down, I choose how much money I want to spend. It'll show me how many people it'll possibly reach. I can choose how many days. If I'm doing a like page ad, I generally run it for about 4 to 5 days. When I first started doing this, you guys, I did it on my peak days, which it varies for everyone. It's kind of biased. You have to figure out what that is for you. But I did it, and I would do it for, maybe 3 days, and I would spend $10 a day for 3 days just to get people to like my page or see my post. When I'm doing ads like my application post, I did it for 5 days, and I did it over peak days, and I did it for $150. Now, you can choose to do yours for 50, you can choose to do it for 10, you can choose to do it for 30. The more money you spend, obviously, the more people are going to see it, but you have to use what works for you. So use that little $10, 10% of your income to create a budget that works for you and break it up how you see fit. But that's how you do that. I have mine set up through PayPal, so it just automatically goes there, and then I would hit boost, and it would boost that post, and more people would see it. So that is basically how I have been able lately to get the most eyes on my page. Now, this is one I did not boost, but 42 people clicked it and 103,000 people saw it. Now, if I were to go back and show you guys some of my posts and things that were happening before I started doing this, it was literally nothing. There were people, like maybe a few people saw my stuff, but now more people are actually engaging on my posts. More people are actually talking about them, clicking on them, liking it, sharing the videos, doing those specific things. So I really find that this is super, super helpful. Like I said, if you don't have a page, you guys, you don't have to worry about that right now. You can start one, and you can start getting legit people who actually are going to have something in common with you and want to follow you by simply investing a little bit in your business and creating ads that work for you. It's going to take a little bit of playing around, figuring out what works for you, and getting some eyes on you to start following your posts. Now, what I do, because I'm spending money to do these things, I tag myself. So I'm using my personal page, but on some things like this one and this one, I tag myself. So that way I'm not double posting, and more eyes from my personal page are also coming to my like page. And that makes it another way for you to get organic eyes on your posts. So let's go back to, how do I get back to our Hangout? There we go. I'm gonna stop screen sharing. Hopefully this has helped you guys a little bit to kind of see how to do this. Now, if you are on Instagram and you're just like dead set against starting a page and you're dead set against investing in anything, then do the Instagram training that I got for us. Follow that, because it gives you some really great step-by-steps on how to advertise yourself and kind of promote yourself through Instagram. And you can do that through hashtagging. You can share your Instagram posts to your personal page if you want to do that. You can just do that in your settings. But it is a little bit harder to market advertisements on Instagram and really get past that feed without just using hashtags. And if you're going to start marketing yourself on Instagram or on Pinterest or things like that, you need to work really hard to build your brand and to get the most amount of eyes on you for all of those freemiums and, you know, just who you are, get more followers, so that when you are ready to throw out that application post, more people are going to contact you. So if you guys have any questions, you can just drop them below and I will do my best to answer them. Right now, I have somebody downstairs who I have to hop off and go meet her and work with her on a few things, but I will come back and I will answer all your questions later. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys, and if it wasn't, leave your feedback. Let me know how else I can help you guys with marketing and branding and advertising, because I may have not mentioned it today, but I may have kind of learned about it, or I'm always looking to do new research for our team and for myself and for us to see what works better. So if you're looking for something more specific for you and your business, let me know what that is, and I can start seeing what we can do about getting you guys that information. So anyway, guys, have an amazing day, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.